I woke up at 7 today, and I'm in the process of readjusting my sleep schedule, so I'm feeling kind of haggard.
Yeah.
It do be like that. You know what you need when you readjust your sleep schedule?
Yeah, so funny. So while you guys both got up while we were on break, I guess you guys had stuff to do, but I just kept talking for a while, and I came up with this one that was like, I think if David got his nail out of his claw, he could use it to like articulate the buttons on one of those.
It's true, the
like,
retractable claws. They're very thick claws, though, on a lion.
Well, but they're probably like pencil, like at the tip, they're probably like a pencil maybe. And he could use those on like a boombox alarm clock and get it all set up to play Bop when you wake up. Which I think would be a hella, like imagine getting murdered to Bop. That would be
That
sick.
does sound sick, but do you think that a lion wakes up to in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion is
Not a great,
Good character work.
not a great song to wake up to. I don't think personally.
Well, but it's describing what you're doing, and then it's too annoying to go back to sleep after.
In 1996, Scholastic began publishing Animorphs. Over the next 6 years, Katherine Applegate and her husband, Michael Grant, under the pseudonym K.A. Applegate, produced 54 main series books, several spin-offs, and inspired a TV series, graphic novels, and a cult following. We can't tell you where we live. We can't even tell you our last names. But we can tell you our thoughts and feelings on this series, book by book. I'm Miranda.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Anidorks.
These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
You think David's a Hanson fan? No.
He doesn't have the scruples.
He doesn't like pop at all, I think. I think he thinks pop is for dummies and girls.
God, he would probably like, God, what would he like?
Well, he named his cat Megadeth, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. He does he probably Slayer.
Megadeth is a band, and it did exist already.
Oh, I know Megadeth.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure they actually existed already.
Mm-hmm.
I think he still emotionally responds to the Hanson song Weird whenever it comes on because
I don't know it.
One of my favorites.
I only know Mbop. I'm a fake fan.
You think I know?
Great song.
Can you hum a few bars?
I can't. But
that is going to be the first one we analyze. We're going lyric for lyric on Weird.
Right after we end tonight.
Right after we end
just
tonight.
a very fitting song for someone who has to keep moving because their dad keeps taking new roles in the NSA. Is that right?
Yeah, his dad his dad's an interpretive dance coach.
I can't wait to listen to Weird after this. That should be Patreon.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard
it.
it because I think I only ever had like a Hit Clips Hanson.
I had a live album.
Ooh, a live album? They were alive? They weren't AI?
Yeah, well, no, they could actually play.
No, I know.
We'll
that was the whole
later.
thing. They were kids who could actually do it.
Taylor, the most talented out of the three. Middle child.
I have nothing. The middle child.
The band was completely centered around him. Everybody else, like Isaac and Zach, fuck off. Taylor's the one who kept the band
Zach
alive.
just whammed on. He was a 10-year-old who whammed on drums, I think.
Yeah,
they can
just
do
a
that.
child. Yeah.
Which Jonas brother do people like the most? Is it Nick?
People like the Jonas Brothers?
It was between Nick and Joe, I think. Some
Nick
people
and
like
Joe,
Joe Jonas.
Wait, what about Frankie? And now, Chapter 7.
Back to you, Quicks.
Owl Rachel flies and Eagle David follows. David's eagle morph is faster than her owl morph, Rachel narrates, but she has been morphing into eagles longer than David has. She knows these morphs. David would not reach Rachel until exactly when she wanted him to reach her. She skims fences, shoots through gaps in trees. David never quite catches her, and Rachel never quite lets him lose her. Popcorn Eddie.
You're very good, Rachel. You know, I wish I didn't have to do this.
Yeah, but you just can't help yourself.
You all left me no choice. You forced me. What was I supposed to do? Let Jake order me around? Let him get me killed? Spend the rest of my life hiding?
Exactly.
What do you want, pity?
I lost my family. Everything. Thanks to all of you.
What are you, nuts? We're not your problem. Or at least we weren't until you turned against us.
Rachel leads David to the most dangerous stretch of the chase, an open field without any place to hide. She nearly reaches her destination, high power lines that she hopes David won't notice until it's too late. David zapper. When he catches her, David sinks his talons into Rachel, one talon piercing through her flesh towards her heart. Rachel is terrified, not because she fears death. She wants to make that abundantly clear, but because David is about to win. She wants to demorph, but she's too high now. She'll never survive the fall.
Sorry, Rachel. But after all, birds die all the time, don't they?
But then, out of nowhere, a dead bird drops from the sky, proving his point with immediate irony. Something drops from the sky. It's Tobias. He knocks David away from Rachel, saving her life. He says to Rachel,
Rachel, David is really getting to be a pain in the butt.
Tobias? But you're supposed to be dead.
I am? Who? Me?
That's the closest thing to
I think Tobias could have better lines here.
I'm so good. Tobias, there's some things going on here. And like it's technically only revealed later, but like did Tobias really think like no one was looking for him? Like he was just off on his I'm confused about Tobias, but I don't understand David's logic. I will say, I know he's just a sicko. Chris, you were quick to point out there's not a lot of logic here, just sicko-ness. But like, the line from, if I go to the Yerks, they'll yerk me and I'll live with my yerked parents, to if I stay with the Animorphs, I'll die, and because they're going to lose eventually, because look at how much they fucked up the other night, so eventually I'll die. So clearly the only solution is to kill the Animorphs. Just like I'm not seeing the red string. He's got like a bulletin board covered in red string and none of it adds up, and it's all centered on Jake, and it's like, I don't think you're getting it. Like
I think on some level he might just be reacting to the fact that he already knows that he's never going to be able to fake it for this group. Like, he's already failed. He just doesn't fit in. He's a weirdo. And he actually would love to blame it on the fact that they're not being nice to him, or that
you ever seen me without this hat?
Right.
It's a Riverdale reference.
He just can't. He can't do it. He can't pull it off. He can't pretend that he can't convince them that he actually fits in with the group.
Well, right. Yeah. He can't make it 10 minutes without trying to murder someone.
It's true.
And that's going to really hinder
his talons go for her heart and his beak's going for her brain. And also, this is the beginning of the weird fucking compliments that David is going to pay to Rachel that make you so unbelievably uncomfortable. Like, I've read books with really disturbing subject matter that I was able to just be like, it's a book, it's fine, I'm okay. And this book like deeply upset me.
Yeah,
it's really rough.
He got real messed up. Yeah,
the talon going for her heart is also just such a freaky line,
especially because it's going in through her back. Like when you think of the like logistics of it and you picture it, it sort of like highlights, and this is maybe just me reading too much into it, but like it highlights how small she actually is in this moment. And I mean, he is too. They're both just birds, but like the fact that you could do it to a human too. You could stab them in the heart from the back, but like it just highlights the frailty of her life.
Okay, I just got so woozy.
I'm sorry.
Like let's dial it back.
Let me describe a blood draw I saw recently.
Yeah, I'm having enough trouble with the birds.
So wait, can we try to break down
how to kill someone? No, we can't.
Let's spatchcock a chicken. Would that make you feel better?
You're telling me that this isn't the most efficient way to do it, and I'm just wondering what can we imagine? And maybe book 23 is all from Tobias's perspective, and it's just that little gap of time. Maybe he went to visit the Elemist, maybe he went and had a whole side mission, but like where he loses David.
We are doing a Tobias book.
I think
Keep
so,
going,
right?
keep
I'm just
going.
realizing
Keep
that we
going.
are in fact do a Tobias book. Sorry, keep
but
going.
Keep the thread.
Where does Tobias immediately go upon losing? Does he go back to Cassie's barn? Does he go? Does he
I think
even?
he goes to ride the roller coaster a couple times.
He's like, I got an hour. No one's looking for me. I'm going back to that roller coaster.
Yeah. Do you think he
does-
like popped into a diner, saw on the news that there was a tiger being found at the mall, and he's like, I gotta go check on that. Like, and they were like,
But
you need to leave. Like, there's more important things going on.
He clearly doesn't go to the mall because he never checks in with Cassie. He doesn't
That we know of.
But my guess is he does go through and visit the Animorphs, and knowing Tobias,
I guess
he probably goes to
the-
visit Marco last, and maybe
The through line about how Rachel probably knew about this spot was because she'd gone flying with Tobias. So it's probably Tobias's territory.
I will
You know?
say the thought seems very silly that she could lead him into power lines that he can't see, but it does make sense that it's dark and she's an owl. She knows these are here. You're right that she knows these are here, which lines up with this idea of them going flying and her like knowing the locations of the power lines. And so she's hoping that the eagle literally won't be able to see it. Like, if he knew to be on the lookout for it, he might see it, but he doesn't know the territory. You gotta know the territory.
The territory.
yeah.
What are you talking? What are you
talking?
But he doesn't know it. So she is banking everything on that, and it almost fucking works. I'm like picturing a world where they were just shy of it, and then he intentionally is lifting her higher so that if she demorphs, she would die when she fell. And so like I'm picturing a world where like we almost finished this here, and Rachel and Tobias, Rachel and David both die because they're connected and they're electrocuted to death.
That's dark.
On these lines.
That's
Like, it
dark.
was very close to it. And I think she was almost hoping it might happen. They don't say it, but like, she was like, I'm dying. So like, the only good outcome would be he still can't see the power lines and maybe he'll fly into them.
Yeah. And she doesn't actually have to kill David herself, which is something she's wrestling
I don't think
with.
that actually she cares about that much.
No.
Could we say that? Oh, go ahead, Ed.
Just it is something that she is conflicted about and will find a workaround.
True.
By
And she sort of intentionally set this up to be a way that she kills him without killing him. Whether or not it was the most efficient plan at that moment, but it helpfully is the plan where she does not have to physically kill him herself.
Yeah.
But she was willing, I felt she was willing to do that at the mall if they'd been on
I don't know that
equal
she's
footing.
totally sure what she's willing to do yet.
Yeah.
Like, she's figuring it out in real time.
The farther
And,
she
like,
gets from the trauma of the moment she found out Tobias was dead, the less sure she seems that she'll kill him. And she almost, when she says for you, Tobias, it almost feels like she's like really stealing herself. But when she flew into the mall, it didn't feel like she was stealing herself. It felt like she was in like a blind rage.
I just want to like sit with a little bit finding out Tobias is alive because we didn't really hit on that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, yeah, it is nice. Feels nice.
It changed what I thought the trajectory of the book was going to be for sure, because I definitely was thinking, you know, we might be going, and we still could be going the Elemist route, but this definitely felt like, oh, okay, so the person we thought was dead isn't dead. That changes my predictions for where we're heading.
Yeah, and I think it also establishes the rules we talked about last book, a couple episodes ago, where we talked about how, like, things happening off camera allow for that ambiguity. Yeah. Yeah, this chapter, like, with David getting creepier and chasing her and her, like, trying to, like, destroy her antagonist in this moment, like, this book really, really rings the bell of the world is out to get Rachel.
Yeah.
And just that is so forever palpable in these books. And it's just like, and David representing a certain kind of obnoxious, toxic man, baby, whatever.
Seriously.
I mean, he's young, he's a child, but like still, he's also a psycho.
For sure. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est?
All right.
Shall we move on to
pivot
chapter 8?
to chapter 8? Let's do it.
Chapter 8. All of the Animorphs are okay. Tobias is alive. David had killed a red-tailed hawk. It just wasn't Tobias. Imagine that. Jake was able to demorph after Cassie injected his tiger morph with a big shot of adrenaline. Axe managed to escape from Marco's house after being briefly stunned. And Marco just spent the night trapped in the closet. Unlike the rest of the Animorphs, he even managed to get a few hours of sleep. Rachel, Cassie, and Jake regroup at school lunch the next day, so exhausted and demoralized that they break the rule of never sitting together. They see Marco approaching them to join the table, but something seems off about him. Then they realize this isn't the real Marco, who is still in line for lunch. This is David.
Would you mind an interpolation? Do you mind if I just get something out of my notes here?
Yeah. Sure.
When non-Marco sits down, he steps over the chair.
He does.
Which is the Riker maneuver from Star Trek. It's like you thrust your junk towards the people you're sitting
It's
down
very
at.
aggressive and very masculine, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Riker was just doing it because he was always sitting in chairs and wanted to, zhuzh it up. But
Yeah,
Wait,
just
can we
get,
hold for
a
a moment?
trademarked way of sitting in the chair.
Sure.
So this is like a lunch table bench? Is that what we're imagining?
That's what I imagined, but it's not sort of how they describe it.
Yeah.
So
they said
what are the
something about
different ways
stepping
of
over a
sitting down?
chair.
Because I'm just trying to imagine
Well,
what
you can see my chair here. Now, this is too high. But I think he stepped down over and into the chair.
Nuts. That's
It
what
says
Riker
Marco
does.
doesn't swing his leg over chairs. He swung it over the back of the chair. These are chairs. I know that's hard to. We all went to the same school growing up, so that's hard to picture.
They didn't fuck with chairs at our school. They just had. They were like, a bench will do you.
Yeah, the bench attached to the table,
At
so
some
you
age,
literally
they probably
always had
switched
to swing your leg over the bench.
At some
to
age,
sit
they
down.
probably switched to chairs. But
Maybe I don't
okay.
know.
Yeah.
I have to double check just to since we're interrupting the summary. I double checked with someone older than me if they had metal cutlery, and they said, "Yeah, we had metal forks." And I was like, "Okay, just checking."
So again, this is David in Marco morph. But what I did not do here is put Marco David. Marco
Or
dash
Darko.
David. Darko.
Johnny Darko.
Yes. From now on, for this brief scene, known as Darko.
Okay.
Jake asks Darko what he wants. Darko answers that he wants the blue box. Jake reminds Darko that his odds aren't good, saying that they're 5 against 1 right now. He leaves out Tobias from the count, figuring that David's belief that Tobias is dead gives them a slight edge. Cassie tries to manipulate Darko, speaking in a quiet enough voice that Darko has to lean close to even hear her. Quicks.
David, I know you've been through a lot. I know your life has gone terribly wrong. I know you're lonely. I know you're afraid. And I know that deep down inside you feel very sorry for what happened last night. But you must know that you cannot bargain with Visser 3. He won't give you what you want.
David looks confused. How could Cassie possibly know what he wants?
Should I tell them, David? Or would you like to? David wants the box so he can ransom his parents. Isn't that right, David? You want Visser 3 to release your parents so you can have a home again. Cassie gets real weird on that one.
For a brief moment, vulnerability crosses the face of David's Marco morph. But then, just like that, the emotion disappears.
That's okay. I don't need the box. I have something else Visser 3 wants. See, I know that the Animorphs aren't Andalite bandits. I know their names, their addresses. I give him you. And you. And then, you know what? He can do to you like he did to my parents. And he can get his blue box from you.
And then David walks away.
Everything's solved.
It's all
Everything's
good.
wrapped up
It's all
in a
good,
nice
buddy.
little box.
So there's a couple. So one note I want to hit that's toward the end here with the Cassie David interaction. I have a podcast that I listen to sometimes to fall asleep where he just reads public domain books, and one of the ones he does is Great Gatsby that I like, and he just does the beginning of it, first hour or so, and Daisy from The Great Gatsby is spoken of as someone who speaks in hushed tones just to get someone to lean closer to feel excited about what she's going to say. And so my new headcanon is that they're doing The Great Gatsby in school right now because Cassie does this like speaking quietly enough that David has to lean closer to hear. And I'm like, get his ass.
Yeah. This is, I think, the side of Cassie. We've been saying this now. This is why Cassie won this most recent season of Animorph Survivor that we did.
It's the social game.
It's a social game, yeah.
It's good.
I feel like I finally understand, and maybe it's just how David's going about it, but I've flipped from the whole the Animorphs should start morphing humans, other people, because it's just so weird that he's Marco. It's so freaky that he showed up here.
The big problem is that Marco's also here.
Yeah.
Like, I think if Marco wasn't here, it would still be weird because we don't like David, but like the idea of the two Marcos in one place, like he didn't even like, he was just like, yeah, it'll probably work out. He's like flying by the fucking seat of his pants. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if like two of the same person showed up in different clothes, like, would you notice?
As a teacher, maybe not. They all look the same, right?
Like, yeah.
All like vaguely 12.
It might take a long time to notice, like until their first class together or something.
And he didn't stick around. He only came for lunch where there's people everywhere. So like, assuming this is a big school, which we don't get a good sense of. And honestly, the TV show makes it look a little small. Like they didn't have enough budget for like what an actual huge high school looks like at lunchtime, even with staggered lunch periods. And this is a junior high, so there's only 3 grades here, presumably. But like, it's like there's probably at least 70 kids in here right now. Like it's hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
I want to talk about I know I talked about Cassie's mom not getting to live her dream of having two of the tigers who were her favorite. Mm-hmm. But she was scrubbing into surgery for this tiger when it disappeared. It just fully, and Cassie shot him with adrenaline. He was still dying. To clarify, that'll make your heart beat faster. He's bleeding out faster now. Right. And he had to start morphing. And I don't understand how nobody was with him when that happened. He was on the surgery table and there was no vet tech giving him anesthesia. There was no like...
Allow me to summarize.
Okay.
It's a tiger playing chicken with death.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You wear a disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man, you're a tiger.
What is this? I don't know this one.
That's Chicken Boo from anime. We do it all the time.
We do this every episode.
It's what?
Where's
it's
the
Chicken Boo?
From Animaniacs. It's just a giant chicken who pretends to be a human, and there's always one guy who can tell it's a chicken.
And he goes like, why are you listening to that guy? He's a chicken, I tell you.
And they're like, get him out of here.
Chicken.
Yeah. Do we think David came to school just to speak to the Animorph? What is he doing here?
Yes. Yeah, but he's got 2 hours of morph.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he's here for.
So you don't think he hung around after this?
I mean, I think he probably would have tried to at least, like, see what it was like to be Marco a little bit, like, if he could have gotten away with it. But, like, you know, I think he knew he needed to get...
all day and nobody laughs.
Yeah, I think he knew he needed to get in and out.
Oh, because I'm forgetting. David literally can't be in school because he's wanted by the Yerks right now.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That's why he's Marco.
Our belief on whether or not David is cute based on the fact that he shoved Marco in the closet. Like, if he needed to shove Marco back in the closet, does that mean that Marco was at risk of coming out of the closet because of David?
Maybe Mark.
No, he hated him. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I have is that Rachel gets a line. She says a line about how she was so tired her skin was vibrating, and I've felt that. And I've never heard it put that way before, but I feel like I've had that thought, said it to people, and had them go, I don't know what you're talking about. So to see it, I feel seen.
Yeah. K.A. has a lot of experience from staying up all night to write these books.
She gets it.
Yeah. Cutting close to the deadlines. I would love to have a peek behind the curtain and know which book was the hardest so far to get to come together.
Yeah.
And which one was like, oh, that one wrote itself. I want to know.
And at this point, we're
can
so
you
far
show me?
detached. Like, we could read interviews, but like, by the time she was being interviewed, like, she had to do these so fast. I wonder if she even remembered, like, some of the ones she wrote.
Which reminds me, Jeff should be calling soon.
On the KA phone. We better hurry then.
Yeah.
Should we move on to chapter 9?
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Rachel follows David into an empty school hallway. As they pass through the hallway, David demorphs from his Marco form. By the time they exit the school, David is himself again. Rachel grabs the traitorous little shit by his weaselly shoulders and spins the fuck-faced dweeb until he faces her.
You looking for a fight right here?
Why not?
You would never morph here in the open.
I don't need a morph to handle you.
Maybe you forget this sometimes, but you are a girl, Rachel.
And you're a worm. Want to see who wins that fight?
Pretty upset over that bird boy, aren't you? What, did you like him or something? That's it, isn't it? Aw, how sweet. Too bad. But birds have a short lifespan.
So do worms.
What are you doing? Trying to scare me?
Nah, I wouldn't want to scare you. I just want to tell you something. You rat us out to Visser 3, we'll know. We have sources inside the Yeerk organization.
Yeah, right.
How do you think we knew the Yeerks were moving against the president and the others? How do you think we learned that one of those heads of state was a controller? So see, you sell us out to Visser 3, we will know.
Big deal. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Even if we were warned, we wouldn't last long. But some of us would last a while, you little creep. Long enough to make sure that your parents... Well, use your imagination.
David swings at Rachel. She dodges it, grabbing his hand with one arm and jamming a fork against his ear with the other. She fights the urge to twist it.
You want a war between you and us? That's one thing. We'll play that out. But you try and sell us out to Visser 3 and your little family will never get back together. Never.
Rachel walks away from David. She's
la.
exhausted. She's exhausted, yes, but she's also aware that she is high on adrenaline and life. High on that rush of power and violence and God. She's never made a threat like that before. She's not exactly ashamed, but she also knows that she will never tell any of the other Animorphs what she just said, not even to Cassie or Tobias. Towards Jake, she feels in that moment utter hatred. She swears that she hates him even more than she hates David. She doesn't even have to report back to Jake about what has just happened because he already knows. And because he already knows, she can't face him or what he knows about Rachel.
This fucking Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, this
and
one was, yeah.
The way he talks to her, the way she talks to him, the way she's angry at Jake for noticing this about her before she notices it about herself, and the fact that she knows that Cassie tried to stop her, but Jake sent her out there knowing what she would do.
Well, Jake didn't send her out.
Jake
It's
let her
important-
go.
Let her go. But let's be real here. It's like we all still have agency.
Yes.
Like just because, she chose to do this.
She did.
Yeah.
But Cassie tried to stop
Badass.
her knowing it might go badly, and Jake was like, no, let her fuck him up.
No.
Like-
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But from where Jake's sitting, Cassie had just tried to empathize. I mean, they're long past empathizing with, this guy is trying to kill them. But, she had tried to manipulate him with the guise of, empathizing with him.
And it didn't work.
Cassie doing that gave me so much whiplash that I still can't process it.
It's why it threw him off so well. It was so good. Like her utilizing her empathy for manipulation. We've been talking about it for they've been bringing it up as a theme for a couple books
she's
now.
a Betazoid. Yeah.
And she's finally fully putting it into motion. But I think Jake saw that not work and go, all right, Cassie did as much as Cassie could do. Let's see what happens if we let Rachel at him.
Yeah.
And you really get the sense from how she did this and how she sized it up. And she followed through on this remarkably. But this was, I think, the moment, Miranda, you were talking about, like, was she trying to figure it out? Like, was she going to kill the lion, or would she have killed him if he was human there? And then I'm going to fly him into the things. This is her, like, threshold. This is when she's like, here's how it happened.
Yeah.
Like,
I really think she has a moment where she considers, if I could have killed him right then without the fact that everybody at school would have known, I'd have done it.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say that, but she says she wanted to morph. She was like, I can't morph here. But she was thinking about morphing a grizzly to just fucking kill him. Yeah. And she can't, he picked a place where she can't do that.
Yeah. What's scariest for me is the fact that she wants to twist the knife. It's that she's wrestling with these big, big, big feelings. And I do actually think Rachel's not giving herself the credit here, I don't think. But we should be giving her a lot of credit that she didn't do these things, that she felt those things and then...
Because she stabs him with the fork and then she thinks about twisting it, which would only cause pain. It would not... It would not kill him more. It would not get her any closer to killing him, which is ostensibly her goal. It would just be pain. Yeah. She's already said the threat. She's already scared him. She would just be hurting him for the sake of hurting him.
I don't know if that, like, I just, like, if I'm Rachel's lawyer, like, I think that there is enough of a case that basically this is just clear self-defense, even if she twists the fork. Like, I don't want to hear from David on the stand, like, but Your Honor, she twisted the fork. It's like, and had you not swung at my client moments before, like, it's like...
There was a fly that passed in front of Rachel's face, and David was trying to strike the fly. That's what happened.
Yeah, I was just trying to swat the fly, Your Honor.
And she was like, and I was trying to help him with the fly with my fork.
Yeah, I was trying to skewer the fly, but I missed, and I hit his ear. And then, in my panic to get the fly, instead of pulling it straight out, I twisted.
I thought maybe the fly was just nearby, and if I twisted, I could just give him a little smear. All right. Well,
this chapter is heavy, but it's just, it is what it is.
I have no notes. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Go read it. I know that this whole show is advertisements for individual chapters of
basically,
this book, but it's
don't read the whole book. Just read this chapter.
Don't read the whole book.
Except we say that about every chapter.
I'll tell you what. After reading this book, I'm getting more and more excited for when we finish the series, and I can like sprint one character's books in a row, like just the Rachel line and just the Marco line. Like, I think that'll be really.
I do have a question. What is, and we've already talked about this a bit, what does David think that is David actually thinking his plan is to deliver the cube?
I'm
going to be real with you. I think you're trying to make sense of the actions of a truly hateful random being. And I think that there is no, this is how I feel about it. Like,
and I'm asking more just to check in with
and
it.
Also a genuinely scared person.
Gotcha.
He's a genuinely scared person, so I think he thinks he's not 100% sure what he will do with the cube, but he knows that having the cube gives him more power.
Power.
Yes.
It's all about power with him.
Because at one point he's like, oh, I can take it and start my own group. At one point he's like, I could give it to Visser 3. It's like he's not sure what he will do with it, but he believes that having it will somehow make him powerful enough to stop whatever's happening.
Yeah.
He wants to start his own group, but he won't even show up to Animorphs Anonymous meetings.
Right?
It's pathetic.
Well, that's the thing. It's like he wants to start his own group because I think he's telling himself that the other Animorphs are the problem. They didn't accept him. He doesn't like how they see him. They think he's some little twerp who's just like a turncloak, and he thinks he can get it right next time. But probably, I mean, he is repeating the whole thing of moving and going to a different school, and at the next school they'll accept me. But the problem is you, David. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking directly to David at this point.
No, and I know you're very upset with David, and the podcast is called Eddie Talks to David. And
he's eavesdropping. He's always here. I know he's in the room. So.
But I think he's beyond. I think it's pure power fantasy at this point. I would be shocked if he would even allow for anyone to be a friend or a peer where he's going. And he speaks to that a little later on, but I think with how he's already interfacing with his choices and the paths he's on, he knows that he's thrown that out. And I think he is just doubling down. Like, I'm not saying he's irredeemable. He may like go to another town and maybe stop murdering, but like, oh man, he's bad news.
He can't decide if he wants
something that we can't give him.
Yeah, he can't decide if he wants a peaceful life with his family or to be Jake, essentially. He's like, I want to be the one in charge. The problem with this group is that I wasn't the one in charge. It seems like what he feels.
And I think there's still something that continues. Like, I think he wants to be like Marco. I think he wants to have influence like Jake. And I do think, I mean, whatever the fuck is going on with him and Rachel, but like, I do think he is scared of Rachel. And I think we had come into this book thinking like, oh, is he going to want Rachel's power or something? And he is definitely trying to have power over Rachel in this book.
He's trying to have power over everything.
Yeah.
I really think he's just like, and Rachel specifically, not trying to downplay that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I can understand. I do think I'm like, it is unspeakable how much trauma he amassed so quickly, like, and the situation he was put in. Like, that part is true, and yet I'm so done with him. Like, I'm just like, okay, and so this is how you respond in this environment. Well, you're in this environment, and you're kind of leaving us no choice. Like, you know, we tried to move you to another department.
Yeah.
And you killed everybody. And so, like,
which is a line for us. I know it's not a line in other organizations, but
it was in the handbook.
And it should have been underlined. You're right. But we didn't think it required underlining.
So,
shall we chapter 10?
Yeah.
All right. It's me. Chapter 10. Rachel goes home after school. She learns that Cousin Sadler has been transferred to a local children's hospital.
I forgot about Sadler.
Jake's parents have returned home to their house, along with Cousin Sadler's family. Rachel's mom informs her that their family is going to have to pitch in to help as well. Rachel hears all of this and goes right to bed, her body exhausted, but her mind racing. Popcornetti.
I kept wondering, had I always been like this back before the Animorphs, back before that encounter with a dying alien who changed our lives? Who had I been? I tried to remember, but it wasn't like I was thinking about myself. It was like I was remembering some girl I used to know. Like she was an acquaintance I'd forgotten about until someone reminded me. It was like, oh yeah, Rachel. I remember her. I'd been very into gymnastics. I knew that. Shopping. I guess I'd never exactly been a happy-go-lucky party girl. But I tried... that phrase is so funny to me for some reason. But I tried to imagine myself back then and tried to imagine grinding the tines of a fork into someone's ear while I threatened his family. I almost laughed. It was crazy. I mean, I'm not someone raised in an abusive family or anything. Yeah, my folks got divorced, but probably a third of the kids in school have divorced parents, and another third wish their parents would divorce. Popcorn quicks.
I'd never had to wonder if my parents loved me. I knew they did. They told me, and they showed me. I wasn't on drugs or anything, but somehow, some way, I had gone from being this occasionally sharp-tongued girl to being, well, as Marco would say, Xena warrior princess. What made me feel stupid was that I hadn't realized I was changing. But everyone else obviously did. Jake did. When he knew it was coming down to kill or be killed with David, he'd sent Axe to get me. Not Marco, not Cassie. Get Rachel. And in the cafeteria, he had let me go, knowing what I would do. Afterward, I'd seen Cassie in sixth period. She didn't ask me what had happened. She didn't ask what I'd said to David. She'd known. I could have said, look at all the battles I've been through. It would have been a good excuse, except that Cassie's gone through the same battles, and Marco and Tobias. Would Tobias have done what I did? That was the killer question, see? Because Tobias lived life as a predator now. He'd have every excuse in the world, but I wondered if even he would have gone as far as I'd gone.
Rachel snaps out of her thoughts when Jordan barges into her room to let her know that Jake is on the phone. He informs her that the Animorphs are meeting to come up with a plan to deal with those oh-so-yerkable world leaders. Rachel talks her way out of babysitting Jordan and Sarah for the evening and joins the gang in Cassie's barn. Axe Thought speaks to everyone that they are operating under the assumption that David is eavesdropping in Morph. The plan that they will discuss here will not be their actual plan. It's not until they're flying to the resort that Jake shares their actual plan. The plan was outrageous, insane, out of control, and violent, Rachel says. And heaven help me, I liked it.
Yeah.
Again, with Naomi doesn't get along with Sadler's family since the divorce, but we do not get any clarification on their relationship. And if they're expected to help, I feel like Naomi's gotta be related.
Is it unethical if we put them on an island together for a next season of Survivor and hope that they'll have to hash this out in front of the cameras?
Wait a second though. Wait a second. So do we actually think so it's who's related to who, right? They're cousins.
They're cousins. So the question is one of Jake's parents and one of Rachel's parents.
Hurricane Dan
are siblings.
And Jake's dad are brothers. Or
that's a thought. Or Naomi and Jake's dad are brothers.
Sure.
Wait.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. It's fine.
I think that's right.
Or Naomi and the mom are sisters.
I don't want to allude too much to things I know that haven't been stated yet, but there is, at least there seems to be a fandom consensus that Jake and Rachel are Jewish.
Oh.
And Naomi is an Old Testament name.
Sure.
Just throwing that out there. So
David is also an Old Testament name.
Dan? Yes, that's true.
Dan, damn it. No, Dan. Yeah, sorry, I thought David.
No, they both are,
Dan
though.
is also,
Daniel and David would both work. But so I think they gotta be related through Naomi. I think it's gotta be, because otherwise, why would she be expected to help?
It makes sense.
If people got divorced,
okay.
Would you expect your sister-in-law, who's no longer married to your brother, to show up?
Right.
Yes.
For your kid.
So, but if they got divorced, then then Sadler's parents just judge her a lot.
Yeah, I think they just don't approve of divorce.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But it does kind of make sense because Dan moved away, which kind of speaks to my support network's not here. So Dan just picked on up and left. But Naomi's like, well, I should stay where my people are.
Exactly.
All right. I buy it.
Okay. Sadler came back. Now, we did meet a bunch of Sadlers. Adam Sadler. We did meet a bunch of, we heard about a bunch of Sadler's siblings last book. Forrest, I think,
Sadler's
was one.
Siblings?
Now, they don't get named again here, so I'm figuring that they will show up later in the book. We just haven't seen them yet.
But we do say, it says that they're staying at Jake's. We do get that.
Yes, yes. We get Jordan and Sarah come back, which is always very exciting. They do. Because they've been a through line. They've been coming up.
Oh, Jordan and Sarah are great.
And I had always imagined them like Mary Kate and Ashley. You know, I don't know.
Solving mysteries together.
I mean, they're like 2 years apart, but sure.
Well, but we mostly just hear about Jordan and Sarah, so I had forgotten that they weren't the same age. And it's very important here that Jordan is slightly older than Sarah.
Yes.
So.
Well, I was gonna sort of ask, this feels very oldest child coded. Did you ever? Was there ever a time that your older sibling goaded you into saying, I can look after the younger sibling, so that they could go out and do whatever they wanted?
That definitely happened. I do think there's also this gendered thing where my sister, so I'm the middle child, I have an older sister and younger brother. My sister was definitely expected, even though she didn't have a big sisterly vibe. She wasn't whenever all of her cousins were
Don't
around.
let her hear that.
Yeah, I think she would say it first. She didn't have the maternal instinct that a lot of people wanted to project onto her. But it's definitely a pressure that you're kind of supposed to take.
That's true. And them being all girls makes it less, there's a little less gender drama there where she's and honestly, Rachel's the one that her dad wished was a boy. So she's like, Mom, no.
Yeah.
And then the middle sibling is probably oh, Rachel's a perfect girl. I'm going to emulate her and be so girly. And she's like, I'm a girl. Girls love babysitting. I'm a babysitter.
Yeah. And I do think actually we've seen that Rachel can occupy the big sister role really well at other times. It's not like she's doing it, not doing it here
And
because
she
she doesn't want to.
She will a little bit later in the book. Yeah, she
Yeah.
does. She has a good big sister moment in the book.
Yeah. It's just
But I
that she
don't know
actually
that they're
has.
specifically big sister moments as much as they are big sibling moments. Like I don't know
Yeah.
that they're
She has
that
big
gender
sis-
coded.
No, yeah, it's true.
Except for the shopping, I don't think there's that much girl gender coded. It's like, except for the fact that she is pretty and shops. I don't know that there's that much girl gender coded about Rachel, except for the violence she faces from the outside world.
Yes.
Yeah, which I really think, like, when she's doing her self-examination, it's not going to be a part of it that, like, it's, like, not a part of it that she sees, but is so legible in the book.
Yeah.
It's, like, it just kind of, like, that is the story that I'm telling in my head is it's, like, well, you learned to defend yourself and then, like, took that into this war. And also this war took you into a place where you weren't just like this thing being bombarded by like a patriarchal society.
Yeah, the gender expectations are sort of removed and she's free to sort of be whatever she wants to be. And so now I feel like she's looking back on herself and she's not even really even the older version of her, she's not thinking of through as gendered a lens. It's like, I did gymnastics and she says I wasn't exactly a happy-go-lucky party girl, but like, that could apply to a boy just as much. The only thing she really has is like the shopping. And really, who doesn't love shopping?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
that's a different podcast.
So,
but
we met Rachel within like, I think a few paragraphs of meeting Rachel. She was being attacked by a man on the street. Like,
yeah.
Of course she's ready to kill someone. Like, I feel like...
In her book, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, in her book.
In her book. But of course she has anger. And I actually think the books are really good. Like, Rachel is investigating this part of herself that wants to cause harm, that is violent.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like K.A.'s voice is asking the same questions of Rachel. Like, I don't think the book is blaming Rachel or...
No.
Casting judgment on her desire to kill. Like, I don't feel like that's happening at all.
No, actually, that's a really good point too. Is like much like what Miranda was saying, the book is coming at it very earnestly through Rachel's lens.
Yeah,
that is simply the water I almost said the water that she breathes, which is a couple chapters from now. But no, it's just it's simply like it gives full agency to Rachel's thought process, which is really, really well carried. That's a really good point.
She's not is it not a good sign that she's wrestling with this too? I don't feel like David's wrestling with this. Like,
no, certainly not. Well, she's not a psychopath.
The thing about a bad person is they don't usually sit down and ask themselves, am I a bad person?
Are we the baddies?
One tiny note from this chapter that is cute. They're all a little worried since the David Marco, the Darko morph. Mm-hmm. And so it seems that everybody has asked him has been waiting for the punchline. They've all been setting him up for a joke.
They need to prove it's Marco.
Right. So she gives him Marco, you know you're a toad. And he says, kiss me and I'll become a prince. I'll be the prince formerly known as Toad, which I think slaps. And then he says something along the lines of, he says, you know you want me. You can't help it. After all, you're a female and I'm me.
Me.
And I don't think in modern day Marco would say female because female has like some not great, but like, but also they all say that they all did the same thing to him. And he says, can you all stop playing that game? I'm afraid I'll miss a punchline and Rachel will morph to Grizzly and eat me before I have a chance to say anything. And I just think the idea that like if Marco wasn't sassy enough, that's how they'd know. Really amuses me because we didn't get him.
Good.
We didn't get him at all in the lunchroom scene because Cassie had to keep him away because there would have been two Marcos, and so it was nice to have a moment with him here. I enjoyed it.
We've had a lot of like Marco Zero, which just isn't the same.
Yeah,
or Diet Marco.
Yeah,
or Tab.
The violation of I don't know when David acquired the morph, but the idea of knocking Marco out with a baseball bat and then acquiring the morph is just so gross. Like,
that's how I assume
he draws
it happened,
his line. He draws his line at killing him, but he'll like brutalize him. Like,
Yeah.
no, you've already crossed.
But he's apparently well enough to go to school the next day,
Yeah.
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 which isn't much.
We have
but,
to,
like,
you guys, we're like, we have so much more to talk about, and we have like more episodes coming up, but I cannot let the last thing we talk about on this podcast be about how Marco was beaten by David with a baseball bat. We got it. Like, can we
beaten
just,
by David, beaten by David, beaten by David with a
beaten by
baseball
David
bat.
with a baseball bat. Yes, and now we've lost
Wait.
everybody.
Okay.
Well, no,
Okay. Well, then I know
sorry.
a way to take this out. Rachel is wrestling. I don't think you should be allowed to wrestle with your violent impulses. And then when you're talking about your violent impulses and say, "And heaven help me, I like it."
I kind of agree with you.
Unless you're
I
from
kind
the
of
South.
agree with you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And heaven help me.
Oh, I'm getting the vapors.
Oh my God, she learned it from the cops. She was like, "Well, I like how they sounded."
Lord, forgive me.
Sure as shooting that is a tiger.
Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!